I often say that head position is overrated because wrestlers and wrestling coaches will harp on about head position, and not talk about any of their other frames. But we have all of these frames. We have our hands, we have the backside of our hand, our forearm, our shoulder, our ribs and chest, our hips. Just like in jiu-jitsu, you use your hands, you use your forearms, elbows, you use your shoulder. So again, the reason it's overrated is because it's talked about like it's the only frame that exists. And that's the thing that I say about head position being like this like buzzword. It's a thing, it exists, but it's just one singular frame among all the other options of frames. Obviously, it's a strong one, you gotta use it, but you gotta not make it into some special thing that it's not. It's just another frame. But you need to get out of this idea that hand fighting or head position is somehow different than our basic guard versus guard passing. All that's happened when he takes a stance is he's comported off guard. Just like in boxing. He makes seated guard. Yes. Don't do boxing. You're not boxers. Yeah. Look, seated guard. Oh, look. He's comported a guard. Stand up. Oh, look. He's comported a guard. So what is my job? To pass it. Oh, when we're passing, what are we trying to get to? The body? Okay. When we're passing here, we're trying to get to the body. So it's a question of guard retention versus guard passing. So the purpose of the guard and of our structures is to manage distance, primarily manage distance, to control his movement. Because what I want to do is I want to rotate him and put his body in positions that it doesn't want to be in. And so in order to do that, we've got to understand how the body rotates. A lot of this stuff is stuff I learned from Ryan Hall in Modern Defensive Guard. It's very useful, and from actually talking to him. Yes, yeah. And from actually talking to him. And so, the body has the human body has 5 appendages to it. The body, when I'm talking about the body in this context, we're talking about the torso. It's got the arms, the legs, and the head. Okay? And so the body can rotate like this on the transverse plane. Okay? And I know that's a big word, but it just rotates like this. It can rotate like this, like in a cartwheel. So this is a frontal plane. And then it can rotate like this in the sagittal plane, which is annoying. So that's why isn't this called frontal plane? So that sagittal plane is like this, or backflip, right? And so when we're wrestling in a style with leg attacks, generally speaking, people are not presenting us with this surface. Because when they present us with this surface, the head is hard to use as a frame. And it's harder to defend our legs. So what he's going to do is he's going to rotate his own body so that he's presenting me with this surface right here. That surface, meaning the shoulder line. Right here, see this? He doesn't present me with his chest or with his ribs or with his belly. He presents me with that. Okay? The other thing is that when we understand frames, we have to understand base, because all of our frames are based upon our alignment, right? We've already understood kinetic chains and creating force from the ground. But we also need to understand that as a general category, there's 2 types of frames. There's a straight frame that's a linear frame. So I put my leg back, I put my arm forward, and it blocks him linearly. The backstop comes from this back leg. If I rotate and I hold him like this, the backstop comes from the side leg laterally. In jiu-jitsu, it'll look something like this. So the backstop there is the hand, his arm. Okay? So, when we're wrestling, the head is often a linear frame. backstop by this. And it's mostly used to prevent his forward advancement into me. So I'm gonna just put my head to his, or I'm gonna put my head to his shoulder. In the same way that I could put my long hand frame here, or here, or here. Okay? It also can control his rotation. So a lot of times you'll see people say, okay, I want to get here in this little divot. And that's great because it prevents his forward progression and it's harder for him to rotate like this.
So, for example, he puts his head position from over here. He puts his head right here.
I can't rotate toward him. I can rotate away from him. If I want to circle myself toward him, I gotta do 3 things. All of them are not super great. Lift my head up and turn, which obviously gives him the body. Put my head down and turn, giving the back. Or I've got to do my hip escape. See that? Hip escape turn. So again, let's say we're on a closed stance, right versus right. Generally speaking, I want my head either here, matching his head. I want to circle outside and get my head here so he can't rotate as easily. Or I want to get over here and put my head in here. And watch, change your lead leg, Phil. Oh wow, look, it's the same thing. His base just changed. Okay? But again, there's like some exceptions to this, where head position is like, people think you get head position. And again, I do this like whenever I go into a jiu-jitsu gym, I'm traveling or whatever, people fight super hard for head position. But then they do stuff like this. I'll like just give up head position, and I'll just put my wrist out here, and they grab it, and they're like, oh, I'm safe. Bang. So, why is it that this isn't very good? And what Thomas did earlier, buddy, that this is better. Do they look the same to you? Maybe. So let's talk about what the actual difference is.